Okay, so I know that there are some that have been deposited. I know that they're getting to everyone. So if you haven't received yours yet, I think they are on their way. Just recognize that not all of you are eligible, and for those of you who are, they are phasing things up from the people who need it the most, which means you made the least amount of money, to the people who made more. So even if you are eligible, recognize that you might have an opportunity to wait if you made a little bit more than others. I was just curious if anybody received theirs yet. Yes, and Marvin says he's received a commission check, which is a stimulus for him, and I couldn't agree more, Marvin. And yet, no, it doesn't actually answer the question I was asking. So today, what I wanted to spend our time on is a week 4 assignment. See, for those of you who said, all right, I'm going to get up early on a rainy, gross Monday morning, and I'm going to log into this 9 o'clock thing, and now you're going to get homework. So sorry about that. And yet, what I think about this homework is it's an exercise that will help you make sure that your year finishes the way that you want and expect your year to finish. And I know it sounds crazy to be talking about finishing your year when we're just in the 2nd week of April, except I want you to do some math with me. If we're in this scenario for another 2 to 6 weeks or so, right, and we're getting back into some sort of normal maybe in June, right, and we're ramping up that normal June into July, maybe even into August. Do you see that August, September, October, November, if you add 60 to 90 days, you're already at Halloween, heading towards Thanksgiving already. By the time you're closing all the transactions that you're going to put together once we crawl out of this in the summer months. And what do we know about how quickly the year ends, right? You have only until about Halloween to write business that will close in 2020 to create that income for you. So we're really kind of running out of time for you to not earn an income in 2020, but for you to plan to earn an income. And so I want to be certain that you're spending time this week planning the rest of your year. And here's how I'd like you to start doing that. For those of you who have taken BOLD, which is nearly everybody on this phone call at one point in time in your career, you know that Diana has us write that as if letter, right? The as if letter, you're writing it as if it's a year later, and you're writing about all the things that occurred to you. Well, what I would like for you to do this week is do that same exercise, except write your as if letter for September the 1st of this year. I want you to understand that on September 1st, you're sitting down writing about the last couple of months of your life and your career. What's occurred? What does it look like? How did I come out of the craziness? What does my business look like? What did I learn? What are all the positives? And really focus and get specific on exactly what the next couple of months looked like for you. And write it obviously from the perspective of what you want the outcome to be. Right? If your as if letter starts with, it was a dreadful 8 weeks. I was so horribly bored. I watched the world go by out of my window and fed my cat. I overfed my cat. I overfed myself, right? Well, that's not the point here, right? The point is for you to take a positive look at what the next 10 weeks or so looks like, 12 weeks looks like, and write that. Because then once you've written it, your subconscious is then going to get to work making all of that start to happen in whatever way it can figure it out, right? I get comments every single year when those BOLD letters are released about, oh, I got my BOLD letter and I can't believe how much of it actually was right? So if there's even this much of a chance that exercise changes our actions by changing our head, I would say now is a perfect time to bring that exercise back to the table and write it for September the 1st. Now, I'm not going to have you send it to me or your MCA and we'll mail it back to you. I just want you to write it by Friday. I want you to write it, and I want you to tuck it away someplace. And I already have September 1st in my phone to remind me, to remind you to go and figure out where you hit it. You might want to put a little reminder in your own phone reminding you where you put it. because I know for me that'll be the biggest challenge. Go get that letter. Oh, okay, well, where did I put it? Right, so remind yourself in your own phone. I will remind you on September the 1st, and we're going to take those letters out and we're going to read them. We'll have a big Zoom session, a big reunion Zoom session. Because by June or mid-July, I think none of us are ever going to be on Zoom again. We're going to do everything face-to-face, regardless of how inconvenient it is. We're all going to be in the room together, doing all this stuff face-to-face for a while. And so the idea of getting back on Zoom to remind us where we were when we did that, and then really kind of downloading on that, I think is an awesome opportunity. Does that make sense to everybody? Any questions on that? No? Okay, awesome. So I have one more thing for you this morning, and I left it on the printer. So I think I saw Dan on here. Dan, talk about Quantum Leap for young adults just for 30 seconds while I go and get my thing on the printer.
Sure thing. So we Keller Williams Kids Can, which is the organization that puts on QL for young adults. We have gone through a nice labs process for teaching this course online. And I'm going to be launching the next wave of that is today at 3 p.m. I'm essentially bringing all the people that were in it last time through it again this time, plus a bunch of others. So for those of you who registered people last time, you may have gotten emails confirming their whatever for today. That's why they got that. And we have about 25 or so people signed up for this upcoming round. So if you have a young adult in your life, ages 14 to 25, essentially, that you would like to, have go through a 9-session, 3-week course all about, learning how to be more productive, learning how to focus on their goals, learning how to time block and, make great decisions and figure out how to prioritize things in their life. We will be starting that today at 3 o'clock with the first session. So, and there's still time to
awesome.
I'll put
thank you so much for that.
In the chat box.
Appreciate it. And thank you so much for taking your time to do that for the young people of our world. We appreciate your talents in that. And so here's the thing. I want to stay true to our time. This is only 15 minutes. So instead of going where I was going to go, I'm going to save this for a conversation either tomorrow morning or later at 4:30. And it's just an outline of some other things I think we really need to be focused on for June the 1st. So tune back in at 4:30. I'm going to give you this information to close us out before we move to Adonis. However, I think we have Nancy Morgan on this morning, who just wants to give you a quick update as to where the rates are. Nancy.
Hi, everybody. Hope you had a good weekend. So just if you're talking to any clients, if you're talking to any clients this week or today, just rate update real quick for the day. So if you have a 560 loan and you have 20% down, great credit, the rate 3.125, and then also it's the same rate if it's a 90% loan to value, 10% down, and the rate's the same because the mortgage insurance guarantees the loan. So thank you very much. Have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Gosh, it's almost like free money, isn't it? Beautiful thing. So thank you so much for that, Nancy. With that, it is 9:15. So guys, have an awesome day. I'm going to pass this over to Adonis to make sure that you get your morning dose of Marty Miller and the 66-day command challenge. Adonis.
Thank you, sir. So today we're going to continue with the contacts like we've been doing. There are so many things you can do with contacts. It's just incredible. It's almost as if you can take command of your whole business or something. So on the contacts card, you're going to be able to create opportunities, tasks, notes, and all kinds of other things. So Marty Miller is going to show us how to do it.
Good morning, Keller Williams, and welcome back to the KW Command 66-Day Challenge 3.0, Day 11. And continuing our contacts training here, we're going to dive into the contacts applet submenu. And I'm going to show you a little bit more information that's available within the actual contact record of one of our contacts. So I'm going to choose one of the contacts that I've been utilizing here. First of all, I want to show you the timeline. So your timeline is everything below this line here. So you can see here are some examples that show up as far as activity goes. So this should be tracking any meetings that you have scheduled, calls, emails, texts, incoming and outgoing SMS, calendar events, notes, if your contact has searched their neighborhood, if they have favorited a listing, or if they have contacted the user. So just wanted to show you what some of those look like. Email information unavailable on the 19th of November, the 19th of October, the 19th of September. The reason this says email information is unavailable, it doesn't mean that your Gmail account is not connected. What it means is this is the monthly Neighborhood Nurture Smart Plan going out. You'll see here in a second when we scroll down that I subscribed myself to a monthly Neighborhood Nurture Smart Plan revolved around the neighborhood Village Green West, Audubon Park, Covington West, Imperial Woods, and Hawks Landing. And this little box here is alerting me that that email went out. So this is basically a monthly neighborhood or KW Command driven email being sent out. Next, you're going to see when you subscribe someone to a smart plan, that shows up. So I think I managed to subscribe myself twice to the birthday smart plan, and this particular contact record was probably training on that back in August. So you can see whenever you subscribe someone to a smart plan. In addition, you can see texts that are going out. So here's an example of a text that I sent. Hey, it's Marty with Keller Williams Platinum. Been a while. Just wanted to see if you had any real estate needs I could help you with. Let me know and give my best to your family. So you can see that email went out. The reason I believe it's in here twice is I actually have this phone number used on 2 separate contacts. So that's why it's in there twice. Typically, you would only see that once. In addition, again, remember August 19th, the 19th is when I subscribed myself to that smart plan. So this is the smart plan email going out. You can also see when things change with regards to your source or your opportunity stage. Again, the 19th of July, 19th of June. Here you can see April 19th, I viewed the market neighborhood snapshot page. On the 19th, I viewed it some more on the 18th, on the 17th as well. And then finally down here at the very bottom, you can actually see emails that have been sent. So I sent an email from my KW account to this contact, which has this address, right? This is the address I put in for this contact. The cool thing is I can actually click on view email, and it's going to pull up that specific email here within my Gmail account. So you can see what that looks like. So that's pretty impressive as well. So that's not all of the things, but just some example of things that you can see in the timeline. Again, for a full list, you can click on this drop-down box where you can sort which activities show up in your timeline. And these are all of the possible activities that could show up in your timeline here on the right-hand side. You can also sort for activities by a date range. So if you look at this, you can kind of decide, okay, I want to see activities that have happened in the last month, in the last 6 months, 3 months, whatever you decide. If it's a certain day or days you're looking for, you could put those in as well. So that's essentially the timeline here on the right-hand side. As we are climbing through the right-hand side, I wanted to introduce you to 4 other things and then talk to you about what we're going to do on Tuesday and Wednesday as well. So first of all, here on the right-hand side, I do have the ability to add a contact to an opportunity from within the contact card. So if I click on opportunities, you can see that I added myself, this contact, to an opportunity back on May 6th, and it has since been archived. Okay, so I do have the ability to go back in. Let's say for some reason they were under contract and then they busted out, they decided to take the house off the market for a while. I could archive that opportunity, and then I could create a new one by clicking on Create Opportunity from within the contact card. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze there. I probably will in just a second. So you can see here are all the inputs from the opportunity screen within my contact record. So I can choose which opportunity type this is. It does right now default to listing. So make sure that you change it if it's a buyer, landlord, or tenant opportunity. In addition, the client, obviously it's connected to AAA seller because that's the contact record that we're in. I can choose a co-seller if I wanted. Say AAA is married to AA. So there's the co-seller. I can choose that contact record by just typing it in. Now, if the contact did not exist and I wanted to select one, I could basically go through here and that record would not show up. So in the actual opportunity, you can add the new contact. From within the contact card, you cannot. Opportunity name as of right now. Opportunity name, you would want to add this opportunity. If it's a buyer, obviously you would just put the buyer name. If it's a listing, you would want to list the address of the house that's being listed. You can select your custom opportunity tags. You can estimate a close date if you know it. Estimated list price, since this is a listing. If I went to buyer, you can see we've got the budget as compared to estimated list price. Choose a time frame, commission rate, and then where is this opportunity going to show up? We're going to do a whole segment of training on opportunities with regards to phases, stages, and much more. And yet this will just tell you, okay, this opportunity that I'm creating from this contact record will show up in the cultivate phase underneath the watch lead stage. And then it's assigned to me. I can click on create opportunity. And just to show you, not to get too far ahead, but opportunities here are our 6th applet or submenu down. And you can now see under listings, cultivate. Here is, no, it's not. I think I changed it to buyer there at the last minute. And here, this, right, here is our opportunity that we created. Even though it's named seller, had it under buyer as a buyer opportunity. So we're going to go ahead and just archive that for now. In addition, from the contact record that we are in, so I just taught you how you can add an opportunity from within the contact record. You also have the ability to add tasks. So say I wanted to add a task to remind myself to do something. I can basically click on add task. I can enter the name. One thing that I do like to do in here is if it's a phone call, I'll actually list the phone number and name of the contact in the task name. So that way when it shows up in my task manager later, I don't actually have to dive into the contact record to get the phone number. It just makes it easier to accomplish tasks. And then I can just say follow-up call to invite to open house. Let's say I attempted to call them today. They didn't answer. I want to make sure that I call them again on Wednesday. I could set that. I can even say, hey, what time do I want that to happen? I do lead gen at, let's say, 9 a.m. And then I can create the task. And so that's an easy way to create a task. Here you can see that task is created. It'll also show up underneath my tasks and also underneath my home screen. Finally, we can create notes. So if I wanted to create a note within this contact record, I could do that just as a reminder. It might be something as easy as be sure to ask about his dog, right? Last time you talked, you said he was busy taking his dog to the vet, right? Whatever, just something to jog your memory, a note that you could put in there. Obviously, you could put much more detailed notes if you're involved in a transaction. If you wanted to put notes about, just something particular about AAA seller. Hey, make sure always text, do not call. Make sure you do not call before 9 a.m. Text before call, baby sleeps a lot, whatever. It could be notes that you're doing. It could be transaction-based notes. It could be lead gen-based notes, a whole variety of notes. And these notes will then show up anytime you come into the contact record and click on notes. You'll see the note listed right here and when it was created. Tomorrow, we're going to dive into the saved search aspect of this right-hand side of the contact card. I'm going to show you how to utilize that and then how to make sure that your client can find that saved search. And then on Wednesday, we're going to get into the additional activities that can be added to your contact record or created from your contact record by clicking on this plus sign. So that's what's coming up. Guys, that's it for today. Timeline on your contacts, how to add an opportunity, how to add tasks, and how to add notes. We talked about smart plans yesterday. Tomorrow we'll talk about saved searches, and on Wednesday we'll dive into the additional activities that you can do from within a contact record. Hope you're all having a fantastic Monday, and as always, I will look forward to speaking with you tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Awesome, awesome. So we'll see you tomorrow for another great training with Marty Miller, all about saved searches. Today, there are so many opportunities for you to plug in. find what fits you today and create your own sunshine. We'll see you later on.
Elena, someone burned down your house with you inside. Do you know anyone that would do this?
Keep watching over during sun. If this is to end in fire, then we should all burn together. Watch the flames climb high into the night. Calling out, Father, oh, stand by and we will watch the flames burn over on the mountainside. And if we should die tonight, then we should all die together. Raise a glass of wine for the last time. Calling out, Father, oh, prepare and we will watch the flames burn over on the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the sky. Now I see fire inside the mountains. I see fire burning the trees, and I see fire hollow and soul. I see fire, blood in the breeze, and I hope that you remember me.
Oh, should my people fall, then surely I'll do the same. Come finding mountain holes, we got too close to the flame. Calling out, Father, oh, hold fast and we will watch the flames burn over on the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the sky. Now I see fire inside the mountains. I see fire burning the trees, and I see fire hollow and